Karl Schuller was born in Romania in the early part of World War II. In 1944, his father was drafted into the Romanian army, leaving just he and his mother to fend for themselves. Soon, Karl and his mother would be forced to leave their home in Romania.
September of 1944, the Russians started moving into Romania where we were living, and my mother had to make a decision as to leave or stay behind, and she decided that we're going to leave. The only thing we could do at that point was just take with us what we could carry.
They fled to Hungary, but when the Russians advanced into that country, Karl's family was forced to move again, this time to Austria.
You know, there was war going on around us, and I was very scary and trying to get food and shelters.
Throughout World War II and even after, food was scarce. To get food, most people had to barter for it, and cigarettes were a valuable bartering currency. Youngster Karl would sometimes get cigarettes from American soldiers.
The American GIs came by, they throw us the cigarettes or flip part of it, and what we do, we pick up the stubs of the cigarettes and take them home and dry them out again, and Mom would restuff them into new cigarettes and use the cigarettes as barter for food.
In Austria, Karl's youngest brother, Peter, was born. The family stayed in a small brick house on a farm next to some railroad tracks.
When the house I lived in was close to some railroad sidings, and there was a train of oil, basically train cars, and this was the Easter time, and here came a swarm of American airplanes right over the house, and one came so low, the wheels clipped part of the roof, and they shot that whole train on fire. But the scary part was there, especially was when they were shooting both directions on the train, the full front part of the house was totally shot full of bullets. So that was kind of scary.
Later, Karl and his brothers and mother would be reunited with the boy's father, Gustav, and they would move into an army barracks that had thin walls, tarp roofs, no indoor plumbing, and rats. They lived there for several years. Once, during their time there, and prior to Karl's birthday, his parents asked him what he wanted. He said, "Get me to America, the rest is up to me."
When you live in that kind of situation, you have nothing to lose. So whatever from that point on forward, whatever it is, you're bound to move up. And especially once you got here, you saw how everybody lived and on and on. So really, to me, it was really up to you if you wanted to get ahead or not. And all you have to do is work for it.
6 years after applying, the Schuller's application was approved. Once in the U.S., Karl and his brother Peter learned English, went to college where Peter studied business administration and economics, and Karl studied business, architecture, and marketing. Several years after college, they got together and founded a construction company in Rochester called AB Systems. They went from living in a tarp shack to growing a tremendously successful business in America that employs more than 30 people. They've worked for and lived the American dream.